Hey, welcome back everyone. It is now April 11th of 2021. Now, one thing that a lot of Star Wars fans have been very fed up over is exactly what Kathleen Kennedy has done to the sequel trilogy movies before in the past, as well as, let's not forget, exactly what happened with the soloist Star Wars story box office results. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, one thing about Disney Star Wars, yes, we do know that they are absolutely trying their best with bringing back Star Wars Legends. That's exactly a big mission right now by Jon and Dave Filoni. Dave Filoni, mind you, I mean, this is a true protege to George Lucas. He really knows what he's talking about. He knows exactly how the fans think. I gotta say that he really nailed it with the Ahsoka Tano episode in The Mandalorian Season 2. I believe that was Chapter 13. When we go ahead and check out everything else related to Star Wars at this very given moment, alright? So far, we've got tons of Star Wars shows that are actually within the roadmap of the franchise, with more shows to be announced later this fall, including more shows to be announced at Star Wars Celebration of 2022. So that's also going to be a big deal next year. However, what's really intriguing all has to do with Kathleen Kennedy and exactly what's been going on, right? Obviously, the High Republic is a big failure. A lot of fans are rejecting it. I myself included am not very impressed, not just with the stories, but with many of the characters that are being created by, of course, some of the employees over at Lucasfilm. The High Republic era, to really make things, simple here, is that it's very lazy, it's very unimaginative, and there's really no soul of Star Wars attached to it, and I think that's exactly why so many fans feel detached from the High Republic timeline. So, moving on from all of this, what's really interesting, a really interesting development with Jon Favreau, actually involves a Star Wars writer, and of course a specific Star Wars project. Now, with both Disney and Lucasfilm currently developing over a dozen Star Wars TV shows, creators Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni are actively working on the Mandalorian series, as well as the Ahsoka Tano series, starring of course Rosario Dawson. Now, it's noted, however, that since Gina Carano's firing, there have been many setbacks with some projects behind the scenes. Recently, Jon Favreau has been making many major adjustments to his Star Wars universe. Recently, it's described that Jon Favreau had fired a Star Wars writer from The Mandalorian Season 3. This writer was described to be a new co-writer that was going to be unveiled this August. The Star Wars writer was best described to have been causing many issues with Jon Favreau on a creative scale, causing creative differences, since he is a writer that supports Kathleen Kennedy's vision with Star Wars and the High Republic era. Now, this Star Wars writer that Jon Favreau was working with was described to be working on a total of 5 episodes of Season 3, since Disney plans to make Season 3 have 10 episodes, a bit longer than the usual 8 episodes for both Mando Season 1 and 2. Now, further, it's noted that this writer wanted nothing to do with Luke Skywalker being a part of the story in Season 3, and wanted to completely write out the character Grogu from the 3rd season as well. Jon Favreau was not agreeing with this approach, and that the writer even wanted Geo the Rock to make a major appearance to create links to the past, such as the High Republic era. Since then, Favreau decided to fire and let go of this writer and just recently hired a new co-writer that will be announced this July. Dave Filoni is also set to direct a handful of episodes for The Mandalorian Season 3 that will feature Ahsoka Tano once again. And guys, I gotta say, that's the most exciting aspect of Season 3 of The Mandalorian, is of course more Luke, more Ahsoka Tano, and a lot more of the fans that we just love, alright? Of the characters, I should say, that the fans just love. And I gotta say, when we look at everything related to what Jon has created, let's not forget, make no mistake here, that this is the same exact guy that created the MCU. I want to go over to this Star Wars writer, alright? Thinking that he was thinking better than Jon Favreau, or knew a lot more than Jon Favreau what he was doing. Obviously, this writer, whoever he was not in line with Star Wars. I don't know why in the world anybody would want to write out Grogu, let alone Luke Skywalker from Season 3. They obviously set things up for Season 2, for those two characters to be explored once again. And obviously this writer wanted nothing to do it. And a big surprise, well, not that big of a surprise, is that this writer was a Kathleen Kennedy supporter. He actually supports her vision of Star Wars overall and really is, you know, pretty much in support of the High Republic. Now, once again, guys, if you like the High Republic, that's fine. I'm not, you know, throwing anybody out here if you like it. Everybody has an opinion. That's just something that I want to make clear. But what I am saying is that the High Republic is not a very well received creation. And this is a fact. There's a lot of fans out there that are very unhappy with this timeline because of what it stands for. Alright, we talked about this already. Because of what it stands for is exactly why fans are just taking multiple steps back and saying, I'm not even looking at this, I'm not reading this, I'm not watching this. So, moving on from this, alright, Jon Favreau made an excellent decision by going up to the higher-ups over at Disney and telling them the problem with this Star Wars writer, whoever he is. And the fact that the higher-ups over at Disney, you know, some of the board members over at Disney agree with Jon Favreau that writing out both Luke and Grogu is a very bad idea, and these creative differences are not healthy for the work environment. And that's something that you would expect on a Kathleen Kennedy set, right? I mean, we've been seeing this all the time, you know, with movies that Kathleen Kennedy has worked on when it comes to Star Wars. A great example is, of course, The Rise of Skywalker. Tons of creative differences on the set of that film, endlessly, for over a year. In fact, the marketing of the film was a disaster. We were supposed to get a full-on trailer during Christmas of 2018, completely canceled because of Kathleen Kennedy. I'm sure that you guys do remember that. Now, with that being said, of course, we do know that Jon Favreau also has a lot of tricks up his sleeve. What are these tricks? Well, he's basically creating his own Marvel-esque system of Star Wars. And what I mean by that is, he is creating these quote-unquote phases, if you will, where we're going to be learning more about these characters in different ways and how it's going to lead to other new characters or other fan-favorite characters and more. So everything's going to be divided up into phases eventually. Obviously, The Mandalorian, Season 3 and 4, the Ahsoka Tano series, the Kenobi series, and just to name a couple of others here, the reformed version of Rangers of the New Republic, and even Andor. If you bundle that all together, alright, it's part of this one big phase, and of course the Acolyte is within there as well. They're all going to interconnect with each other in some ways, shape, or form. And obviously that's why I believe that this Star Wars writer wanted to throw in Geode the Rock into The Mandalorian Season 3 to kind of create traces to the High Republic. I think it would have been nonsense. Nobody wants to see this thing in live action. It's the worst character ever to have been made, especially when it comes to Star Wars. I don't even know what Lucasfilm was thinking when they were developing this character. A stagnant tombstone, as I like to call it, just completely standing still, not doing anything. I mean, Lucasfilm really has hit rock bottom. There's no doubt about that when it comes to that kind of design. But like I've said, guys, you know, drop a comment below. Let me know about all this in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.